Welcome to Black Boss, where we highlight and celebrate entrepreneurship in the Black community. I'm your host, Michelle, and I'm here today with owners of Be Still Nutrition, Madi and Derick Still. How are you guys?
Fabulous. Happy Sunday. Happy Snow Sunday.
Yes, it's so snowy, but it's beautiful. My fiance was saying earlier, it looked like we were in a snow globe, and I agree.
It does. It does look like it. I'm a little over shoveling, but we're
right. Yeah, we're getting slammed with the snow.
Yes.
So Be Still Nutrition. How long has your business been in existence?
So Be Still Nutrition opened 2 years ago. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary December.
Awesome. And how'd you guys get started?
Actually, him. It was his idea. We were already nutrition coaches at home. I started the nutritional coaching business 8 years ago while I was still teaching.
Okay.
And 4 years ago, I actually retired myself from teaching and took the nutrition coaching and counseling on full time.
Awesome.
And then about 2 years into that home-based business, he said, I think we should open a storefront. And I was like, for what? Like, I don't know anything about operating a storefront, a brick and mortar. I don't know what that's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
He just had, I don't know. Maybe you want to share like what made you feel like you knew that was going to work?
Yes, please.
Honestly, it was just one of those things that was kind of in the back of my head. We had tried a lot of other things and I was like, we've never done this. And then I was listening to a little bit of personal development from Steve Harvey. And he said, your parachute will never open if you don't jump. So that's when I went to her, I was like, listen, we're new to the area. I think we should try this. If it doesn't work, at least we can say we tried it. And that's
right.
Which is surprising because, he's usually a little bit more cautious in his decision-making.
Okay.
And I'm usually pretty skeptical. So I was like, why would this work? We don't know anyone. We had just moved to the area. We knew one person and my mom. So I was like, how are we supposed to build the clientele to bring people into our store when we don't even know anyone or have any connections?
Right.
And it worked.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, to piggyback off of what you were already saying, how were you able to do that? Coming to a new area, that can be scary for people and jump out there. Yeah.
Very scary, but by the grace of God, that's number one. And so a lot of social media. I had a pretty firm handle on social media tactics of growing your following base, growing your business, utilizing social media and ads and different things like that. And I had to self-teach myself some new tricks on social media that for small business owners that actually own commercial space. But a lot of word of mouth. Our grand opening, we had started promoting maybe a month or two prior to our grand opening. And I just constantly would follow people in the area, let them know we were coming, let them know what we were about. We are literally the only thing in this area that is nutrition based.
Wow.
We have a lot of pizza shops, a lot of fast foods, a lot of hoagie spots, things like that. But we are the only smoothie bar in this area. So I just let them know that we were the only ones and people were excited. So our grand opening, we had 200 people at our grand opening.
Wow.
Which is crazy because it was like December.
That's crazy impressive.
Yeah, December 16th was our grand opening.
It was freezing cold.
Right.
People were sitting there drinking cold smoothies. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was wild. And then we created a system where when you come to Be Still Nutrition and you check in, you get $1 off. So that check-in on Facebook constantly exposes us to new circles of influence where we can.
That was smart. That was free game.
Yeah, it's free publicity for us.
Yeah, I was about to say that was definitely free game. I never thought of that, but absolutely with the checkpoints, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Madi and Derick, what was your mission in forming Be Still Nutrition?
I would definitely say our board actually says we are the healthiest, happiest place in Hatfield. And, we really believe in bringing happiness, healthiness, and wholeness to the community and hope as well. Not only are we nutrition based and we do wellness coaching, but we're also faith based. So a lot of our work is to please God and to share the word where we can. So
Right.
a lot of the conversations that we have with people, I mean, once we get to know people, we're not going to just, somebody walk in for a smoothie, we never met them and we're talking about God, but sometimes there's a connection, or we start to develop relationships with people. We invite them to church. So we've kind of been able to use Be Still as our place of,
the name is biblical.
Yeah, the name is biblical. I mean, our last name is Still, but
right, I want to say the last name is
Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. So everything we believe in is about just helping people to be healthy, happy, and whole.
I like that.
Thank you.
I really like that. Yeah, that's awesome. And with the energy and the intention that you guys put out into it, it's always a good exchange of energy when you're putting out positive energy. Typically it's getting it back, and having those blessings just come back in and and wash over the business.
Absolutely. I definitely feel Be Still is anointed in so many different ways. I mean, we've been covered by so many obstacles that could have hurt us, especially with a global pandemic in your business. Like, for us to continue to operate and not lose a single penny, that's a blessing in itself. People are still supporting us. And I do think that a lot of it is the energy that we put out is the energy that we're getting back. And when you walk into Be Still, people always say, what is this? It's like a vibe. This is, and I'm like, well, that's the point. Like, you walk in, and one of the running jokes in our stores, there's clocks in various places of Be Still, but none of them work because you're supposed to just be still. So it's like kind of funny, but so people are always like, that clock is broken. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you're just supposed to be still, chill, get away from society. And
I like
there's always music playing. There's always, essential oils burning. It's just, you walk in, you just feel something is different.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was about to say, especially in the world we live in, it's so fast paced, and it's so much of, as you said, the pandemic being pumped in, like the fear and the anxiety and everything. So to have a place where you can not only, put healthy things inside your body, but within your spirit and within your soul,
we have people that come and they say, like,
incredibly important.
We were not allowed to have people in our store at all. There was a part of the shutdown where we were forced to do just curbside orders. And people would come every day still, and they would say, I know I'm in my car, but I just wanted to see your face.
Wow.
So that says a lot too.
More so like people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As opposed to, it's kind of like a package deal. You get the energy, you get the smoothie, you get,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Exactly.
Yes, it's an experience.
That's awesome. So, and that actually kind of informs some of my other questions. So I see Herbalife in many of your different Instagram pictures. How's Herbalife incorporated into your business?
Great question. So under the umbrella of Herbalife, you're allowed to operate your business in various ways. So you can operate from home, you can operate by running, different boot camp workouts and different things like that. But one of the ways, and this is an international way that a lot of other countries adopted, is a nutrition club. So essentially, Be Still Nutrition is a nutrition club. So we can run it however we want, and we can aim it what we want, and we can publicize how we want, different things like that. But use some of the Herbalife products as our base protein.
Gotcha. Okay. So how much of what you guys have been able to accomplish and what you've done, how much of that has been Herbalife, and how much of that has been the business-minded people that you are?
I don't know how to answer that.
Because, well, I only ask that because, I've also been in Herbalife. I know many people who have been in Herbalife, and, it comes and goes, sometimes it's seasons of people's lives. So to get to a point where you were able to actually jump out there and get a brick and mortar location based on, what you guys started with Herbalife, how
okay. That clarified it a lot. Okay. I would definitely say you got the products, you've got the level of growth that you can have, and then you've got the individual. And I do think that those three things have to be aligned. Even though we all have the same products that we can market, even though we all have the same growth plan that we can have, you have to have a certain mindset. And for a lot of people, they quit before they're actually successful. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, just in general, sometimes you outgrow before you outgrow your mindset.
Right.
It's like the employee mindset versus the boss mindset, I think.
Right.
About that. That's good.
Yeah. Could you elaborate on that?
I was like, okay, King.
I mean, especially in the African American community, I mean, I think that we kind of, how do I put this? Bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out how to.
Oh, not a problem. Yep, I do it all the time.
Put it together. I think that you know, it's kind of instilled in us to get a job, have a boss, and the entrepreneurship of things is not really taught.
Right.
I mean, growing up, my father, he owned his own painting company, so that's all I really knew.
Okay.
Was him as an entrepreneur, you know. And then, you know, I finally got a job and I joined his company, and the painting thing wasn't for me. But I think that's what it boils down to. It's just employee versus boss mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, we have people on our team every day that are still in that employee mindset. They're looking for direction.
Oh, that's good. So and to piggyback off that, I know exactly where he's going. So people will say, what should I do next? Or, hey, just wanted to show you what I accomplished today. And I always have to remind people, I'm not your boss. This is my business. That's your business, you know. And I think that the reason for our success and the reason why we're in the top 3% of the company is because we took on that this was our business, our responsibility, and our growth was dependent on us. So, you know, the personal development aspect, the journaling, the attending courses to grow ourselves, you know, all that stuff we took on for ourselves, whereas a lot of people don't necessarily do that. They wait for the handout, or they wait for, tell me how to do it. And it's like, you have to create it. You know, God's going to give you all the ingredients for the cake. He's not going to give you the cake. He's going to give you the ingredients. You got to bake it yourself.
Right. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. So how were you guys able to market yourself in the beginning that separated you from the competition, really?
I don't think that we ever did anything different from anybody else, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I think, you know, we started the same way everybody else did. We lost weight. We got great results. We felt great about ourselves. We marketed ourselves the way anybody else does. The difference is we've done it longer and we've done it more consistently. I think that's really it.
That's what
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, I feel like when you hear people say it's really just consistency and sticking with it, when you're in those beginning stages of whatever you're doing, it's like, no, I don't think consistency is going to make this work.
Right.
But sometimes that really is just it, just not stopping and continuing down that road.
One of the things, I mean, there was a video of Will Smith and he said, you know, we might run on the treadmill together, but I'm going to outrun you.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm willing to die on the treadmill.
I'm willing to die on the treadmill. And I that's always stuck with me because, you know, I might do the same tactics as anybody else, but, and a lot of people will say, well, like they try to copy. And I'm like, but you can't copy my swag. You can't copy my spirit.
Right.
You know, you can't copy like who we are. You can copy the method, but you can't copy spirit. And that's what I can teach someone. I can't teach someone how to have spirit or passion. I can teach you the method, but I can't teach you the rest of that. You have to find that on your own.
Yeah. Yep. I dig that. So looking at you guys' Instagram, there's so many just colors and foods and mixtures and blends. I was like, wow, look at this. Like, it was really cool. So where does your creativity in the kitchen come from?
Terrible in the kitchen. I'm gonna be real. That's his strength.
I didn't marry her for
where did your creativity in the kitchen come from?
Yeah.
I mean, I just always been that guy in the kitchen. I mean, even growing up, you know, my parents were entrepreneurs, you know. There was a lot of days that dinner was on me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. And I enjoy getting in there with spices, and you know, I just don't salt and pepper things. You know, I got a whole spice rack full of stuff. So,
right.
We got more sauces on a shelf.
I'm a sauce guy. I love spices. I love putting things together and making it taste good. It's just another way for a creative output or whatever.
So where my strength isn't necessarily in the cooking aspect, but my strength is figuring out how to adapt it so that it's more healthy. So, because he grew up like, you know, he knows how to cook. The man can throw down, but I'm like, how many macros are in that? Like, what's the carb count? What's the fat count? Okay, well, we sub the sour cream for plain Greek yogurt. Like, I have to teach him those things because I know the nutrition side whereas he knows like how to flavor it, how to make it look pretty, things like that. So we have to work together on, well, how are you making that spaghetti? Can you use roti pasta? Can you sub this out? Can you do this?
Right.
I get on his nerves with that, but it keeps us trim.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect, marriage as far as the business that you guys are creating. Because if Derick can, throw it down in the kitchen and put all that together, and you can bring your piece in for the nutrition, I get it. I was about to say, looking through the Instagram, I get it, because that's one thing that definitely stuck out to me. Because I'm like, all right, I see the Herbalife, but I'm like, but I see all these other like recipes. I'm like, are they?
I mean, if you look at our
everything is made with Herbalife.
Well, not everything, because if you look at my Instagram, like I have you'll see that I have a really balanced life, and this is something that I'm stressing with my clients. I'm not going to talk to you about Herbalife. You could do shakes, right, and still like struggle with your results if your eating isn't, whatever. So I'm teaching people that balance of how to eat well and how to use Herbalife, and how to cheat sometimes because you're using Herbalife, so it supports that. But I'm very big on whole life success, right? Not just success in one area.
Right. And what does whole life success look like for you?
That's a great question. So if you look at my Instagram, I believe in my faith, my marriage, my family, being a fit woman at the age of 40. Those are like my top things that I really post about. Whole life success for me is having it all. So I don't believe in the word balance at all. I used to try so hard to say I was balancing business and family. And you really can't, because when you're tugging the rope at both sides, you're only giving 50% at one time to that thing. So I believe in, conscious concentration on a certain area at a certain time of the day. So if I'm playing with my son, I'm not a businesswoman. I'm just a mom at that point. If I'm spending time with him, I'm not following up with customers. We're spending time together. If I'm, if I have my boss hat on, I'm doing business right now. I can't do this I'm not playing Monopoly right now. I'm in work mode right now. I'll come back in another hour or so. So I think whole life success is being able to say no to things that doesn't serve you, and then sometimes sacrificing things that you need to be doing, but you don't have the energy to, but you do it anyway. Whole life success is just having it all.
Yeah. So you're good at being consistent.
I think it's a developed.
Look at there's like.
I struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I struggle with consistency.
I think it is a developed habit that I finally have mastered. It took a long time, but I think that if people can dedicate themselves to small daily habits over time, you know consistency.
Awesome. So, in entrepreneurship, of course, there are highs and lows of different things. And, on the journey, we all know this. So what have been some of your biggest wins? And I don't like to say losses, I'd rather say lessons, because I feel like if you're still in entrepreneurship, then you've probably learned how to make your losses lessons, and that's why you're still going. So what are your biggest wins and lessons in entrepreneurship?
What would you say?
Honestly, I would say not spending outside of our means. I mean, when business is good, it's good, and you can do a lot of good things with money. So I think learning how to balance the budget, learning how not to spend frivolously, that kind of thing.
And that was a lesson we learned because of, I don't want to use the word loss, like you said, but business was high, and boy, we were flying, and we were spending, and we had it, and we come from our marriage early on was in debt, in foreclosure, in financial struggle. So when we came into all this money, we were like, and so we had to then all business is up and down. When we hit that down quick, and that savings went quick. We had to really teach ourselves, like, okay, we're never going to make that mistake again.
Gotcha.
I would say probably the biggest win for us was not just getting to the top 3%, which was a level that we had really aspired to for 7 years, but the impact we've been able to have on others, the influence, the financial change that has happened in people that we've helped with on our team, that has been huge for me. The biggest lesson for me, I've lost friends, teammates, people that I thought I would never lose, friends that I were in my life 20 years.
Wow.
Over business. And it's taught me a lot about how to communicate with compassion, how to hear people from where they're coming from, and how to lead with strength, but lead with love.
Yeah, I like that. I
mean, because in business, sometimes you have to have a difficult conversation.
Right.
We can still be friends, but we're going to have that difficult conversation with you because we want to take a stand for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what you told us that you want out of life or out of business, or things that you were looking forward to.
So I think the lesson we learned from that is setting that conversation up a little differently and maybe a little earlier. You know, when people first start, like letting them know, like, hey, just so you know, like things are great now, but there might come a time where we're going to have a difficult conversation, but I want you to know it'll always come from love.
Right.
From Dave Ramsey, actually. Dave Ramsey and Craig Rochelle. Those are like two leaders that I listen to their podcast religiously.
Okay.
And John Maxwell, Craig Rochelle, Dave Ramsey, those three leaders, man, like I'm obsessive right now over those podcasts. And they always talk about set people up with loving communication before the breakdown of communication actually happens.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic advice. I was about to say, I'm a therapist, so I was about to say that definitely speaks to me in what you're saying, because I 110% agree.
You can even take that on for your marriage, setting the communication before we go into this difficult conversation. I want you to know what my expectation is, and here's what you can expect from me. I'm going to love you. I'm going to hear you, but we're about to have a difficult conversation, but I'm going to communicate the way I've been lacking in that space of love. And I need you to fill that space. That has changed our marriage completely.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think it's fantastic advice just for interpersonal relationships. If you're trying to work with somebody to accomplish a goal, then communication is going to be
key.
It's going to be huge. No way to get around it.
Just recently, actually, I was leading a leadership call for a few hundred people, and it resonated with them really, really well. And it was, if you can love people and then start to lead them, but the moment you stop loving them, you should stop leading them. Then your intentions toward them change. So when I start to have personal issues with someone that I'm in business with, where it crosses the boundary of business, then I have to shift the conversation. Like, you know what, this is no longer relevant for us or appropriate because my intentions toward you are changing, because now I'm starting to take it personal. And being able to admit that and say that and say, I need to digress. I need to come back a little later. I'm starting to take this personal. I think that's a really important aspect of communication also.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. And I think that takes, vulnerability. I think it takes courage to really be able to admit, where you are and really be able to communicate, what you need. And then I think that's a fantastic point in team building. I've spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs who are, in their solo phase, like they're still not at a point of wanting to branch out. And I think that, there are fears around branching out and bringing somebody into your, into your baby.
Yeah.
These difficult conversations are going to happen.
It's a huge responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love, like I said, I love what you said as far as the leading with love. And, once you no longer love that person, then it's time to have another conversation because your intentions are the same. Right. I think that's, very honest, very, very honest. So for you guys, what's next for you in this venture?
Oh, man. Millionaires? No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. I mean, yes, I'm speaking that into existence, but
I would say duplication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking to open a few more shops. So we're super excited for the next year. We have some things in the works. So definitely duplicating what we've already created now that we feel like, oh, we know how to do this now. We worked out all of the kinks for the people that are actually, because we have quite a few teammates that work at a Be Still. I'm only actually there 3 days a week now. So we're starting to give up the reins and let them, teaching them by just giving it to them. Here, take a Monday, take a Wednesday. I won't be there. Figure it out. You have to stumble a little to figure it out while you're there on your own and work
trust
out
me, it
kinks.
took a while to get to that point.
Ooh, child.
You don't want to give the reins up on your baby,
Right,
and I had
yeah.
to like literally fight myself. Like I'll be home and I'm like, don't go over there. Don't go over there. And then if I do, like yesterday, prime example, we don't work weekends anymore.
Okay.
And we were in there and it was packed. And
Really?
I had to sit at the bar and watch as like things were being done that I was like, I wouldn't have done it that way, but okay.
Right.
Okay. Like, don't jump in, because you never want to strip them of their power.
Right.
And I think jumping in strips the people of their own power and their own confidence. You want to give them confidence and wait until they ask for you to jump in before just jumping in. So it takes a lot of self-discipline, but I think it is so important. So definitely duplication. I would go with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with duplication, and I had to think about duplication because I've asked that question to so many other people, and they're right where you guys were before you kind of did the work to say, okay, we got to take our hands off of this thing in order to, I assume, grow, because that's really what you give up when you're unable to get to the point of being comfortable with somebody else coming in and helping, helping make the thing run.
Give it up to grow.
Yes. Right. So with duplication, since you guys brought it up, I have to ask you about systems. How long did it take for you guys to come up with a system that you felt so firm about that you knew that you guys are confident you can duplicate it?
Last Thursday? No, I'm just kidding. It's in all fairness though, I feel like we're still tweaking our system. Like we have a very firm system on the business aspect from home that every new person that were to come in and say, I would love to be a coach on your team, we have the exact same cookie cutter system with the exact same tools so that everyone can be successful no matter where you come from or what your background is. That we've created that, it's locked down solid. We got that probably about a year or two ago, which we tripled our business in 1 year when we implemented the system. So it shows that it worked.
That's fantastic.
But on the storefront side, we have a pretty firm system, but as we grow and as we get more financially stable, there's new things we're bringing in to try to make things easier. So it's reteaching, but it's tweaking little things. Yeah. So I would probably say it took us a year and a half. I would probably say within the last 6 months, I would say between a year to a year and a half of having something firm enough that someone could literally take what we created, make their own. Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I've loved hearing this, seeing you guys. I've never seen the transition from, I have to say the transition from Herbalife, but it's kind of not, because you guys have so many other aspects.
Feels like it. I mean, because you are running your Herbalife business, but you're also running a restaurant.
Right.
You really do have to treat them separately, but then somehow interweave them. And it's very strange. But I think when you more focus on the restaurant aspect, you initially get the crowd, you initially get the hype.
Gotcha.
You have to figure out how do I support them with the nutrition and weave it in with what we've created, start to duplicate, and then grow on this aspect. So you have to grow both businesses separately and then somehow together. It's weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like you guys are doing a fantastic job, let's say, as far as, just what you've put out on Instagram, what you've shared with today, your Instagram page, and both your personal and your business, Instagrams. And I'm happy that you guys were able to join me today. This has been awesome. And you guys have been able to drop some real, jewels just in this time. So thank you for that.
For having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you guys would like to share?
No, I'll probably just end with be patient and trust the process.
Okay. Be patient and trust the process. Awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you guys had any advice for, a Black entrepreneur who will be watching this and is, kind of at that point of wanting to jump out there but not sure. Is that the advice that you would give them?
Like you said initially, just do it.
Just do it. Your parachute will never open if you don't jump.
Yeah.
And I got it straight from Steve Harvey. I mean, it's right on YouTube.
Right. Absolutely. Then we're gonna make that the mic drop moment.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, about to say, for being here with me today. Two things. First, tell the people where they can find you.
So Be Still Nutrition is located at 317 South Main Street, Hatfield, Pennsylvania 19440. And we live literally a block away. So
follow Be Still Nutrition.
Yes, on Instagram at Be Still Nutrition.
Awesome. And then the second thing I like to do, I call it Black Boss Tradition. So when I was going out and actually filming people, I used to do this in person, but because of COVID, it's changed up, and just I wanted to keep the ball going, and it's actually allowed me to reach further than what I could physically get to. So that's been, kind of a cool, unexpected gift with all this happening. But Black Boss Tradition, I love when all the Black Boss participants, they say their name and that they're a Black boss. So if you guys could do that, that would be great.
I love that. My name is Madi.
My name is Derick.
And I am a Black boss.
My name's Derick again, and I am a Black boss.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me. Please continue to do everything that you're doing. I love the combination of I love a lot of things that you guys said, but between, you guys basing the brick and mortar place off of not only your last name, but, a Bible verse as well, and have so many aspects of just being peaceful and recognizing that health is not just a physical thing, that, there's physical health, that there's mental health, that there's spiritual health, that there's emotional health. And you guys are doing together a fantastic job working together and really bringing that feeling to the world, to the people who are able to get to your space and also to check you out on, social media and everything else. So thank you. I'm glad you guys are out here.
All right.
Thank
you
you.
have an amazing day. Thank you.
You as well. Have an amazing Sunday. If you guys are football fans, enjoying the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the Eagles aren't in, so.
Yeah, it's kind of hot. So I'll be working.
Right.
Like, whatever. I'm in there for the halftime show.
I hear that. Well, you guys take care. Please enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much to Madi and Derick Still with Be Still Nutrition, owners of Be Still Nutrition. It's so exciting to hear when entrepreneurs is able to take what they're, truly passionate about and create a money generating business out of it. What they said about as far as what they have can't be duplicated. That's totally true, and that's not just true for them. That's true for anybody in entrepreneurship who truly has a passion and love for what they do. Don't worry if somebody else is doing it, because if it is yours to do, the space will open up. The space will 110% open up. So just jump out there, do it. I agree with them. I hope that you guys got all the jewels that they were able to drop and the free game that they were able to drop. I know that that $1 off at a check-in point, if you have a brick and mortar place, you need to take that, because that's free game and it's smart. That's very smart marketing. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me again. This is Black Boss. I'm your host, Michelle, and I love you guys. Peace. God, stop doing that. I don't want to do the LL Cool J thing. I got to figure out something else. Bye, guys. Peace.